Hey everybody, this is Grace and I'm on my way to physical therapy again. And last time I went, there was one kind of exercise I didn't do, and I just wasn't sure if I'm ready for it again. I did it before I went to the hospital, but I'm not sure. And it's basically standing up without holding on to anything. I know, we all say, that's so easy. It's not easy, not for me. I have muscle atrophy in my hamstring muscles, and it's been like this for I don't know how long. When like I'm sitting down, if I just try to stand up without touching anything, without holding on to anything, or without putting, like in restrooms, some of them have bars, and those bars, without holding on to a bar, or those silver little bars they have on the walls, and whatever, a cabinet. Sometimes they have cabinet for the sink. It just depends on the kind of place and kind of restaurant or whatever it is. It's usually restaurants that have something different, but anyway, any place that I have to stand up, that's like, those I was talking about, like in restrooms. That when I first found out that I had this problem was in a restroom, in a place I don't ever go to. It was just a one time in like eons. I went to a casino with Adam, and it was a restroom stall, and I could not get up. It was like, oh my goodness, what do you do? I finally wound up having to turn sideways or something, and tried it that way, and it was, I don't remember, it was so many eons ago. That was too much information, but you get what I'm saying. Any place that you're somewhere that isn't your home, in your home you probably, you probably have it set up, but what in other places besides if you go visit somebody? And wouldn't you position yourself in a chair that, or a sofa that has an arm or something? You see what I'm saying? But anyway, and those exercises are supposed to help me with that. And it was very uncomfortable, to try to do those. And I don't know how many times now that I had to do them, but very uncomfortable. Trying to put your arms outstretched in front of you so you don't touch anything, and just stand up and sit it back down. Stand up and sit back down. Now I'm tall. I have long legs, and apparently a lot of people are not, because they always have to adjust stuff for me because of my long legs. When I go to physical therapy, and I've always been tall since I was a child. But anyway, tallest girl, one of two. We knew when we were in kindergarten, we just looked at one another like, we're different. We were both so tall. And we were all the way through, we graduated together. Last I remember. Anyway, I'm kind of rambling today. I just want to get this. I have so much going on this week. The only day that I didn't have anything to do was yesterday, that I had to do any kind of appointments or PT, physical therapy, whatever, was yesterday. So, and then it was like I was so busy doing other stuff, like doing dishes, and so anyway, just kind of rambling. But then I think it kind of slows down again, thank goodness. I'm still kind of curious about what this cardiologist, my pharmacist, that kept sending me texts. Something wasn't right. I'm guessing one medication. The cardiologist, he confused me as it was, because he was saying, start taking this. No, don't take this. He's a young guy. Don't take it yet. You're going to see me again on, I don't remember what day he thought, but they gave me his nurse, he said, she'll tell you, his nurse or his MA or his whatever, she'll give it to you. Maybe it was his PA. Your schedule, but take those, but go get them, but don't take he was doing this, like thinking out loud. And at the end of it, I was like, okay. Then my pharmacist sends text saying, we need clarification from your doctor on this and that. And then a text, we haven't received clarification. And then they have to send me something to fill it all out. Am I going to continue taking a medicine? So my best thought is that it doesn't go well with that medicine. It's just too much. So I don't know. I'm just going to not do it. I'm not going to pick it up. I'm not going to go there. Because it says you can come in or you can just answer the text. And I think I then go and have a phone conversation with them. I think I'll just wait until see the doctor again and ask him for more clarification on that one. Because I don't need to start taking it for another couple weeks or so. And on that, about a couple of weeks, it's been about a couple of weeks, maybe a little bit more. I'd say 2 weeks, really. And, okay, I had a sudden sneeze. I managed to turn it off, I think, before I sneezed. But anyway, I think it's a couple of weeks in, and it's right at 14 pounds of water weight that they've taken off of me. Okay. And so think about it, a pound a day. But it doesn't exactly work that way, because like some days it goes up, and the doctor, the cardiologist, he said, yeah, that depends sometimes, how it fluctuates on what we ate that day, the sodium count, he went through that. And nobody should take that, whatever your doctor says to you, that's what your doctor says to you. I have a rare health condition, so what they say to me might not fit everybody because of the rare health condition. Things don't bounce off of me the same way they do with other people. They don't work the same way, none of that. A lot of things. Some things yes, but some things no. So, and it is rare. More and more I see doctors, and the less and less they show that they show that they don't understand it. And it's like, you can't, in trying to tell a doctor or a nurse, like that nurse that doubled down, she was wrong, said, be careful. I said that could fall under malpractice, because she was adamant. And she doubled down on it. I'm like, wow. You have not spent 14 years to become a specialist. You spent, 2-3 years to become a nurse. And the specialist will tell you you're wrong. And, man, was she ever wrong. But you can't, if my experience, this is my experience, it might not be yours, but with a rare health condition, and they say something or do something wrong, trying to tell them, no, that's not true. No, that's not how it works. Or just however politely or impolitely. I'm not an impolite person, so I'm always polite. But, it's not going to work, because it's like an ego burst. That's my experience. And it's not 100%. But, actually, that of telling them has been 100% of just a little bit of an ego issue going on there. I don't need to be dealing with ego issues when I'm trying to deal with my health. Seriously, if you're wrong, you're wrong. Oh, but malpractice. No, you're wrong. Learn. Speak to, you should know, speak to a specialist, not your own opinion. Okay, you get to look at the sky now. I do that once I get to this place. So, yeah. Anyway, yeah, the sky is blue. Cloudless. And, usually it's got clouds. Usually we do. Well, I see that SUV there again. They parked in the same place that I parked in the same place as yesterday. Not yesterday. I'm trying to change my my schedule for the physical therapy to where I'm not going too close in days together, because it's a workout, and it's really, you know, I've said this before, it's really strange because it seems like, you know, just 10 years ago this would have been nothing. At least I think so. But do we really know? Because in physical therapy you use muscles, you know, you exercise in a way that maybe you haven't. What are you doing? Really? You feel that? What are you doing? Putting something in somebody's tank. Is it his tank? A gas tank, seriously. Some kind of liquid. Maybe it's supposed to be. I've never seen it, but then again, what would I know about stuff that goes in tanks? He's put it in the back of the back of the trunk, so yep, it must be his own. Hopefully you move. But why would he do that in a hospital? Not hospital, but what do they call these places? You know, where they have all the doctor's offices and such. Yeah. Why would he feel that the parking lot for that is a good place to do it? Seriously. I don't like that. And then now he's gone. That I don't like. I think I'm gonna move my car. Yeah. That's just too weird. Because he didn't open the door. Yeah. I think I'm gonna move. So, okay, it's not that big of a parking area, but I really did that was really suspicious. Why would, you know, the guy had to come out of wherever he was, got had the bottle in his hand, come back and put it in the tank. I saw him on the other side of the driver's side, but he wasn't in it. And he was doing something, and then he did put something in the back of it's an SUV kind of. I don't know. I guess you would call it an SUV. But that's weird to put it some big old jug. I mean, not big jug, but it's about the size of a. Boy, I don't know my words. Why would I use these words? I don't know what to call that. But he put it in the gas tank. That's just so sus. As people say, so sus. So suspect, seriously. Yeah, and then he walked back in the building. Or somewhere. I did not see where he went. This is just weird. So, you know, they say, see something, say something. If that were the case, I would just be saying stuff quite often. Because I do see weird stuff when I go out. But, you know, I'm a trained researcher, trained definitely in observation. We had to train like, yeah, you wouldn't believe. But, so I'm going to see stuff that most, you know, that's my master's degree, most people wouldn't see. You know, when you're trained to do something, most people won't be trained to do that. And there would be a lot of fakes who believe that just because they experienced it, therefore they're smarter than the, you know, the charlatans. In other words, the old-fashioned word charlatan. The word even sounds old-fashioned, doesn't it? Charlatan. But here he comes back. Okay, I'm watching him. Okay, if he moves, I'm moving back to my spot. But yeah, because my spot, I like that spot. I like parking next to whatever, like if there's something in the middle, you know. Not in the middle. Hello. but on the side of it, you know, like up against a curb, you know, the curbs that stick out. Let me see. Okay, he's back at the door. And he's not getting in. That's weird. That's what's weird. He's just like standing there. I don't know. Seriously. Why don't you go ahead and leave? That would be really nice if you just left. No, I don't like that. But anyway, like I said, you know, if I did, it's like all the stuff that I do, you know, like I said, I'm trained in observation. And, you know, okay, I am so distracted by this guy. It's just too weird. But, I mean, you see stuff. If you're just, you know, a person who is not trained, are you really watching, you know, how we were, when I was young, we women, especially women, were trained to be very careful about your environment. You know, to really watch what's going on around you. And, like if you're walking home or you're by yourself, it's nighttime. Why are you at nighttime? Okay, that guy is not moving. This is weird. I don't know what he's trying to do. I'm afraid to walk past him. Seriously, I have to walk past. I parked away from it, but I have to walk past to go up, you know, up into the building. I guess he has the keys because his front part of his body is in and he's doing something with the steering wheel. I guess he has the keys, but why isn't he sitting inside of it? You see what I'm saying? He's not sitting in it. He's standing outside of it and turning it on or something. Oh, this is not the place where you do your, maybe he has somebody in there who's in whatever, you know, health care place, and, you know, and he's waiting, so he's bored, so he's going to work on his car out in the parking lot of this place. I've seen crazier, I guess. If that wasn't enough. You know, the van that I said I saw the other day when I was here. It's elderly guy and his wife, I guess. And he's not good at parking. I noticed that the other day. And he likes the same, up against a curb from on the left side to have that curb, you know, the things that stick out. Whether it's the end of the parking spots or whatever. But somebody must have left him a card on his back bumper, because he stopped and he looked at it. Then he went around and said, well, how far am I? And I guess somebody left him a card or a letter or something right on the bumper. It kind of looked like they had hit it, but he's back there looking at it again and cleaning it off. Okay, all these shade tree mechanics out here today or something. I don't know. I'm going to go in. Maybe it's a little bit too much going on out here. You never know. Because it's funny, because that guy, the elderly guy, when he walked past that SUV that the person's acting really weird, the guy had already opened up his hood of his SUV, and then I turned around and I saw this guy, because I was looking back this way, and turned around and that guy had shut his hood, and this guy was walking off from there. Alrighty, I think I've had enough. Enough of parking area fun. I'm going in. Okay, I'm out of physical therapy. It was a rough one this time. I don't know why. Felt pretty rough. Like I said, you know, when I was younger, just 10 years ago, this would have been nothing. Not even 10 years ago. I don't know. Like I say, I didn't do those testing them out. But balance is a problem for me. Yeah, balance. Anyway, I tried calling Adam to see what he was doing. He didn't answer his phone. He probably, if he went somewhere, he left it at home. And knowing him, and I was hoping he went and got some groceries. We've been eating the meat he bought when he and his brother came back, which was all, they bought all, what is it, beef. And that's not good. I want something, beef and chicken. We had some chicken, and but not much. We didn't eat much, I think one time. And that's not good enough mix. So I said to get some pork. I'm not a fan of fish cooked at home. Never been a fan. But anyway, he didn't answer. I guess he left his phone at home. Maybe he went to Costco. You know, because he's supposed to have been going to Costco since that day he and his brother went, but that's been like, I'd say 10 days or so. So anyway, now I'm going to go home. Talk to you on another video. Bye.